Moments ago, Merrifield swing in the seventh inning to snap a scoreless game.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Obviously, he's having a great series. He's got a good little run going right here. He's a big-time player, and I've said it before where it was an unusual role for him coming in and the way he's handled it, and now doing what he's doing, kind of thrust into action with SB being out. It's why you get guys like that. He's been a big part of what we're doing, and don't want to ignore the walk by Jano working 0-2 to a walk to get to that point too.
Understanding every day's another day, but late September is a different kind of day. How big was this win today?
Yeah, every win is big at this point of the year, and going up against a really good pitcher in Rasmussen and had a chance there and didn't cash in. But then kind of clawing back and having big at bats against their bullpen is huge. So yeah, every win is magnified. Every win is big. At bats, just certain things like wit, defensive plays, Vladdy picking the ball at first. Everything kind of just really matters right now. And today was a good night.
Feels like every game, every start that Manoah has, there's something new we learn about his DNA. What have you discovered about him that you didn't even know before?
I mean, more of the same. It's unbelievable how he can kick it into another gear with runners on scoring position. And kind of when he hits that third, fourth inning, it kind of turns into a different guy. So continues to impress. I hope everyone watching back home is enjoying what he's doing. He's putting together a really special year for a young guy. And, tonight was just another example of one of the premier pitchers in the game right now.
John, who's obviously pitching well, but extending him to season-high 113 pitches, is that in part a byproduct of the extra day of rest, or is that just what you're seeing from him in that game?
A little bit of both, yeah, I think, and knowing that, he is a little bit more rested, I think played into it, but you watch the way he was throwing there in the middle part of that game and kind of trending upwards a little bit, so you like him against their hitters. You don't want to kind of fall into the trap of trying to mix and match because they can do some things too. And you trust that Alex is going to do the job, knowing him, knowing his stuff, knowing his personality, his mindset. So it was a pretty easy decision sending him back out there for the seventh.
John, there was a lot of moments where he seemed to be emotionally just kind of carrying his teammates around him, trying to lift them up as well. When you're seeing stuff like that, how do you think that factors, how that plays?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all wanted to score for, all the guys wanted to score for him. He was out there throwing up zeros, and you see a guy doing what he's doing on the mound, you want to kind of put some runs on the board for him, and he's like that all the time. He's like that on days he pitches, he's like that on days he doesn't pitch, so it's kind of a carryover of what he's been doing all year.
I know he goes 7 complete, but the strikeout of Arozarena in the 6th, how big a moment, how big a spot was that? Yeah,
that was big. Big pitch. Obviously, I think Randy might have been sitting slider, but, located a heater, and he's obviously one of their best guys, and he's had a nice series as well. So, getting through that part of the order, I think, with him out there was really big.
John, the time of year, type of game, opponent, did it feel like a playoff game a little bit to you?
Yeah, no doubt. I think the last month has felt like playoff games, and I think, this is a team that's right in the thick of it like we are. I think it's going to be like that from now till the end of the season. So tonight was a good example. You had a couple, really good at bats, really good pitching on both sides, and it felt like one of those nights.